Today's starting pitcher, le lanceur partant, number 7, le numéro 7, Nathan Montambeau. Batting 10, the left fielder, le champ gauche, number 9, le numéro 9, Tyler Brunet. And batting 11th, the center fielder, le champ centre, number 11, Christophe Jobin. Le coach, les instructeurs, Andrew Perron, Dave Jacques, and the manager, Pierre Descaries. Now introducing the Oakville Whitecaps. Leading out for the Whitecaps, number 4, Lake Cosentino, the shortstop. Batting second, the catcher, number 24, Logan Harvey. Batting third, the third baseman, number 6, Jackson Vale. Batting fourth, the left fielder, number 21, Thomas Loeffler. Batting fifth, today's starting pitcher, number 8, Bronson McKean. Batting ninth, the center fielder, number 12, Josh Wynn. Batting seventh, the second baseman, number 2, Caleb Sutherland.
Starting pitcher is the other guy, right?
Yes, 27.
So correction, the starting pitcher today is number 27, Matthew Yursiewicz. Batting ninth, the first baseman, number 13, Jack Carson. Batting 10th, the right fielder, number 18, Sam Doyle. Batting 11th, number 26, Nishan Dillon. And batting 12th, number 5, Evan Wynn. Your coaches, Sam Cosentino, Jason Harvey, and the manager, Scott Reyes.
Hey guys.
And now, if you would all remove your hats, and please rise if you are able to for the singing of the anthem. Now introducing the men in black, the umpires. Behind the plate today we have Mr. Phil Marlowe. At first base we have Mr. Tyler T-Mac Reddick. At second base we have Tom Kowalik. And at third, Mr. Richard Moses.
Is that you?
So now I would like to invite from Oakville, Sam Doyle to do the English pledge, from the Diamond, Simon Danel, and then parents Mathieu Kittel Rudon and Alana Cosentino to do the pledges.
There we go.
Who's first? The pledge. Players pledge English.
I trust in God, I love my country, and will respect its laws. I will play fair and strive to win, but win or lose, I will always do my best.
Good. And actually, I should do that. For the
Je crois en Dieu, j'aime mon pays et je respecterai les lois. Je jouerai honnêtement et j'essaierai de gagner. Mais que je gagne ou non, je ferai toujours de mon mieux.
I will teach all children to play fair and do their best. I will positively support all managers, coaches, and players. I will respect the decisions of the umpires. I will praise a good effort despite the outcome of the game.
J'enseignerai à tous les enfants à jouer avec fair play et à faire de leur mieux. Je soutiendrai positivement tous les managers, entraîneurs et joueurs. Je respecterai les décisions des arbitres. Je féliciterai les efforts fournis, quel que soit le résultat du match.
Hey, gentlemen, good luck. Let's play ball.
Good morning, how you doing? Morning.
I did.
Morning, very good. Good.
And I stand by it.
You're going to the point. Tyler. 27, yeah, 27, Matthew. Yeah, touching as well.
Eventually get them out. I always get them.
We are will. Oh, yes, game. Make sure they answer that question. We are. Yeah, 100%.
No. I always get put on the side and I go on That's my dog. But I have this group on this side.
Hello and welcome here to Kingston, Ontario. It's a week ago today, we all started here in Kingston. And after that week has passed, we're down to our final day of round robin. Hello everybody, my name is Jacob Ewing, joined alongside producer Rias Hennessy. And we have a 3-day slated day full of games, as it was supposed to be the rain day. But due to some rain yesterday, some rain on Saturday, we have all filled it up. Kiddo Houdon, ground ball, and will bounce over the glove of Constantino. And Charles Kiddo Houdon, who normally hits around the later stages of the order, gets the nod at leadoff, starts things out with a single. And so we'll have a big game here in the morning for standings-wise. It's the Oakville Whitecaps and the Diamond from Mirabel, Quebec. In a big-time situation, as the Kingston Colts confirm themselves as one of the teams that will make the semifinals, as well as these two teams, and Trois-Rivières, the only team that is perfect remaining in the tournament. Runner down to second. Saddle will take a strike and will split the first two pitches. But as I was saying, this is a battle for, well, two teams trying to get themselves in that 2 to 3 seed so they don't have to play Trois-Rivières in the semifinals. I think every team's trying to avoid that. Huynh trying to close the ground, but it's a fair ball right up the alley. It's between center and right field. Charles Kiddo Houdon getting the wave. The relay to the plate is not there, and the Diamonds have opened the scoring. And it's an RBI single for Shimu Sato. Here's Adrian Shee. But there's a lot of implications, and I'm still learning more about them. So in between innings, I'm going to make it my goal to ensure I know everything and I can explain it to you guys at home about different score lines in this game and what the result would be for the semifinals. All I know is that this is the only game for these two teams, so either way it swings would be crucial. Obviously, if the Whitecaps win, they would confirm second, and the Diamond would believe they would actually end up potentially being fourth, and that would also come down to the Kingston game later today against the Cornwall River Rats. So if the Whitecaps win, it puts the Diamond in jeopardy of being that fourth seed and playing Trois-Rivières. She pops this one out in right center field, and underneath of it to make the grab, I believe, is Sam Costoyle. But if the Diamond end up winning this game and the Colts win their final game of the day at the 5 o'clock start, there would be 3 teams at 4-2, and then that's when things get crazy with run differentials. Starting pitcher this morning for the Oakville Whitecaps, Matthew Harusiewicz. And we've seen him multiple times at the mound this tournament. And while he gets put in the biggest spot in the biggest game for Oakville, Simone Denal will foul that one off and will split the first two pitches 1-1. The 1-1. Denal sits on it, ground ball to the second baseman. Scoop successful, play to first to Carson is good. And so runner will advance as Asato's down to third. And there's Dalen Jacques. As Diamond trying to double down on their lead. First pitch looking for the outside, won't get it. We'll see ball 1. That's Harusiewicz trying to keep his team up by 1. He was a late add to the pitching start, as I believe it was originally slated Well, it was originally slated to be somebody else. I forget off the top of my head who it was going to be, but the Whitecaps decide that he is the direction they want to go, and we'll see how many pitchers they'll throw here today. Obviously, with a big game tomorrow, you don't want to let one guy potentially go too deep. Or multiple guys go deep, pardon me, as it's a walk for Dan and Jacques, and I'll put runners in the corners. As then that limits the amount of guys you can have tomorrow. And when tomorrow's elimination games, obviously there's the understanding you lose and you're going back home. Which for these two teams would be quite the drive, with the diamond from the Montreal area and Oakville on the west side of Toronto. But the attempt late down from Dick Carey will be foul. And it's outside, runner down to second as well. Two now in scoring position. And DeCarey, piece of it will be for strike two. And Harusuis, a chance to send his team to the offense for the first time this ball game. Searching for strike number 3, the 1-2. DeCarey in play, and he will split the two middle infielders. 1-1 will score. Runner at third is getting waved around. Close play at the plate. The tag. Got him. As Logan Harvey confirms out number 3. And Simon Danal won't be able to score, but the Diamond get 2. And when we come back, it'll be the Whitecaps looking to respond. You're watching Game 1 of the day on the final day of Round Robin here in Kingston. Bottom of the first here back in Kingston, and it's the Whitecaps' first turn on the offense. Looking to respond after the Diamond put up a pair in the top of the inning. Leading things off, Lake Constantino, as he typically does for this Whitecaps lineup. As the 1-0 will turn to 1-1 as he able to chip one on the inside from our starting pitcher, that Dan Montembeau, who has been at the mound several times this tournament, many times in a reliever role, but gets the big nod here today, and we'll put that one inside as well for strike 2. And Constantino, great take there as it's a breaking ball to the other half. Will hold off to go 2-2. Fastball down and away. It's a full count for the leadoff guy. And Constantino, who is an energetic fellow for the Whitecaps, trying to provide some energy on the base paths. Here's the payoff. It's ball 4 for Constantino, and he'll head down to first base with a leadoff walk as he wins the full count battle. And here we'll bring up Logan Harvey. As his top of the order is dangerous from the Whitecaps. So many guys, very versatile. Fast runners, good contact hitters. There's been no home runs from this Oakville team. But guys who can get on base very successfully. That's outside again. And it's a quick 2-0 lead for Harvey. And it's a 3-0 lead now, as Harvey has seen 3 consistent balls. And Montembeault got to find the strike zone here. And we'll have the 3-0 delivery. And he goes through on that one. For strike 1. Harvey Wright's dream career hockey player, so obviously on the diamond now, but he must be a bit of a puck star. 3-1 to Harvey, ball 4, and it's back-to-back walks for Oakville. And we'll bring up Jackson Vale. That's the top 3 in the order. Look to potentially load the bases here early on for the Whitecaps. Time was called, and Montembeault, who has walked the first 2 batters, will have a conversation with his catcher, Dylan Jacques, and his head coach. Try to steady him up, as it has not been very consistent early. Then with a 1-0 lead here to Jackson Vale, who Vale writes his special talent is drawing. So a bit of an artsy guy. And you know, in drawing, you obviously have to be precise, and you can kind of relate that to at-bats. And when taking pitches, deciding which ones to swing at and which ones not to. Guy who pays attention to detail. And there's a fastball down the middle from Montembeault to split the first 2 pitches. And ball 2 down low. And while the Diamond, who are trying to avoid that 4th seed, you wonder how quickly they potentially even think about adding a new pitcher to the mound. Still very early on for Montembeault, but there is somebody warming up in the bullpen currently for the Diamond. 2-2. It's ball 3. And a big full count pitch coming from Montembeault. Ball 4 would mean 3 walks in a row to load the bases up for the cleanup hitter. Still looking for the first down. Here's the payoff. In play from Vale. Nice four-handed grab. 5-3 is good. And there's the first down for the Diamond, as both runners will be advanced to 3rd and 2nd. And that was Maximilian Kisienchev who makes the play. And a quick conversation is the Diamond head coach has a question for the home plate umpire and how the umpires will come in and meet. And so this will do up Thomas Loeffler. Hitting in the cleanup spot as he typically does. Loeffler, dream career, MLB, obviously, as most of these kids at the tournament do, right? And I mean, is the default answer. Or mechanic. And you know what? That is be a good career to have for Loeffler. And at his age, the fact that he's able to write that down. It's good to know he's got a career picked out, and hope that works out for him. But of course, the MLB may be the #1 option. I'll tell you, you'll probably make a lot more money in the MLB than you would in mechanic, just because the MLB pays so much nowadays, especially with no salary cap. We'll see if that changes, though, potentially this offseason. Let the CBA do up. And the Diamond head coach, after the umpires met up and dispersed, went back to talk with the Diamond coach, and they're having another conversation here as they all meet back up right in front of the mound. And we'll see what, there's two of them will come over now to talk it out. As conversations continue here, it almost feels like you need that music that, I believe it's from Jeopardy or one of those game shows, as it looks like the umpire and the Diamond head coach have figured things out, and we're good to keep playing baseball. Thomas Loeffler with 1 out and 2 in scoring position, tying run at second base. And it looks like they're going to walk Thomas Loeffler. An intentional walk, which we haven't seen many times this tournament. Only once, actually, yesterday it happened. But that was in a high leverage situation. It was, 2 outs. 2-run game with 2 on, and it was in the final inning. Wasn't this early on? And there's Bronson McKean up to the plate now with the bases loaded, and he'll see the first pitch without even flinching for strike 1. So an interesting take here from the Diamond. We'll see if it works out in their favor. The infield is in. And Montembeault finds the top of the strike zone for strike 2. And McKean's got a battle. He's in an 0-2-0 early. Montembeault looking for his first strikeout. And it's down to the dirt, and in this type of situation, Jacques has to be on his best game, especially with Constantino at third. He's an aggressive base runner. That one gets away. Constantino thinks about it but doesn't go. And it looks like the third base umpire was arguing, or pardon me, third base coach of Oakville is arguing that could have been a balk after Lake Constantino had a very aggressive leadoff. He likes to play with the minds of pitchers. I wasn't totally focused on the mound, but all the umpires will meet again, and we'll have this little powwow from the umpires momentarily for the second time here in the bottom first. And well, after 3 games got delayed yesterday, postponed, I think we're gonna have a clean day today. Nice weather, supposed to be had for the entirety of the day, and we'll have semifinals baseball tomorrow before championship baseball. I know, even better, on Friday. As they talk it out, so 2-0 Diamond lead, and well, Oakville's been threatening for a while, but their biggest killer has been the fact that they've had to wait for so long to get an opportunity to knock a couple runs home. And it looks like they're actually going to talk to umpire-in-chief, potentially Mark Bradley, as the 4 umpires can't either need a rule straightened out, and he's the guy to go to. And it looks like it will just be a conversation, but I believe also it's a back underway. McKean fires down in foul territory for strike 2. Well, the stay at strike 2, and after all that, the call will be no balk. Base is still full. And we'll have another 2-2 incoming from Montembeau momentarily. Strike 3 on the outside for the first punch out of the ball game for Montembeau, and there's 2 down. And there's Josh Wynn, the speedster center fielder. First pitch for Wynn, strike 1. And Montembeau trying to will his team out of this jam and keep them scoreless. 0-1 to Wynn. He'll hold out for strike 2. And he's seen back-to-back now, and then Montembeau has set himself up here for success. And Josh, no chance now. He's got to swing. No more room to hesitate. 0-2. Ball 1 on the outside. And while Josh Wynn writes his special talent is his speed. And he doesn't even write that down because he showcased that to us all week. 1-2. A late swing, strike 3, and the bases are stranded as the Diamond get out of it. And they'll keep their 2-0 lead after we saw 2 walks. Then a ground ball from Jackson Vale, but a 3rd walk on Loeffler after they intentionally let him go. We wondered what the decision was and why they did it, to load the bases up with only 1 out, but it works out in the Diamond favor. And when we come back, they look to extend their lead up by 2 here in Kingston. Top two as we join you back here in Kingston. And the only new thing is that we have a new third base umpire after one of them went down with a lower body injury. So hopefully he's okay. But it'll be the Diamond back on the bats after they scored 2, looking to extend their lead here in the top of the second. Leading things off, Maximilian Kisiechev. And Matthew Harushewicz back on the mound for his second consecutive. Ground ball, one hopper to Constantino, 6-3 on the money. And there's one down. As he's able to control that one is Constantino. The infield made up of third baseman Jackson Vale, Lake Constantino at shortstop, and Caleb Sutherland at second, and Jack Carson, the first baseman. And Shadi Wow will foul that one off for a quick strike. And what an inning it was in the bottom of the first from Munson Bowe after he struggled a little bit on location, walked the first couple batters. Pitcher was even warming up in the bullpen. Chopper to the second baseman. Sutherland bobbles around, spins, fires. Got it! Had to be a quick play from Sutherland after he wasn't able to corral it right away, but able to make it. And Nathan Montembeau will try to keep this top of the inning alive after a quick 2 outs here from Oakville on the defensive side. And I'll see one right down the middle for strike one. That's ball one, down low. So Matthew Harushewicz says his special talent is that he's a sidearm pitcher. And while obviously he's at the mound right now, we've seen it several times. And so there'll be a ball 2 after the first base umpire, I believe, called a balk. But there's nobody on base, so nobody will advance. And strike 2. And we'll see if the self-proclaimed sidearm pitcher can retire the side in order. The 2-2. And you can see it there. He does have the sidearm whip. Moves it to a full count. And while his dream career from Harushewicz is a sports commentator. Well, I got to say that's mine too. It's ball 4 for Nathan Montembeau, as Harushewicz won't be able to win the payoff. And we'll put a runner on first. And so here's Tyler Brunet. Pitch on the outside. Throw down to second. The tag. Got him! And they pick off Montembeau, who was getting aggressive on the base paths with a thing of beauty. And the momentum trying to swing the Whitecaps' ways. They'll send themselves back to the offense after they left the bases stranded in the bottom of the first, looking for a different result when we return for the bottom of the second. Bottom of the second inning set to get underway here in Kingston, and leading things off is number 2, Caleb Sutherland, the second baseman. First pitch from Montembeau, strike 1. As I'll get Sutherland looking. As mentioned, a lot of implications on the line between these two teams. If the Diamond win, it would be 4 teams who could potentially be at 4-2. It would come down to the Colts in the Cornwall game later this evening. And then it comes down to run differential, as the head-to-head would be a trifecta. Sutherland, chopper slowly to third base. Quick toss from KC and Chev on the money. And there's 1 down. And there's Matthew Harushewitz to the plate. As the 2 pitchers will go for a battle here. Be ball 1 just on the outer half. A 1-0. Ball 2. And a quick 2-0 lead for Harushewitz, who been a consistent player. Many times at the mound, he hits in the middle of the order typically. Just another perfect Oakville typical player, I'm going to call it. All their players kind of have around the same type. They're really good at getting on base, very good contact hitters. 2-1 outside, and it's 1 ball away from putting him on base. Montembeau, who struggled with walks in the bottom of the first lot, looking to replicate it, but he'll start it off with ball 4 and a leadoff walk for Matthew Harushewitz. And here's Jack Carson, another strong pitcher for the Whitecaps. Also has a bit of firepower in his arsenal. One at the bats. Tossed down to first, and it's a quick play, but the tag from Simon Denel just a tad late. Carson's special talent is that he plays quarterback. And so, well, it makes sense why he's been dealing when at the mound with his velocity. And he's just a multi-sport arm athlete. You wonder at what level, how high he plays at football. As I'm guessing this age group is just entering high school, I believe. And runner goes down to second as that ball gets away from Dalen Jacques. It's back-to-back walks from Montembeau, the exact same way he started the bottom of the first. And just like that inning, we'll see a mound meeting as the Diamond coach wants a word with his pitcher. With Sam Cosdoyle due up. And just he's around it, it's really a lot of pitches to the outside, and that will do it for Nathan Montembeau. Goes 1 inning and a third. So 43 pitches from Montembeau that will do it from him at the mound in the tournament, actually, as he won't be able to pitch tomorrow or Friday. And Charlie Waugh is the reliever of choice here for the Diamond, as he'll take to the mound to start his warm-up. We've seen him several times in reliever roles trying to defend a 2-0 lead that his team has now with 2 people on. It's a bit more of a quieter feel here at the ballpark in the morning, I do have to say. Maybe it's the fact that, you know, there was no scheduled baseball game supposed to be played today until we had to move everything around due to rain cancellations, but the vibes are just a little bit lower. Maybe it's just early in the morning as well, but well, compared to some early morning games, I mean, one we had yesterday, if you haven't watched that, I'd suggest going back and at least watching just the ending play, but the Colts came down in the top. They were down by 8 in the top of the 6th after the Ottawa West Twins went bonkers at the bats, including a grand slam from Ben Farinas. And the Colts, well, proved resilient and came back and walked it off to win it 14-13 for what I like to call the game of the tournament. That was yesterday morning at 9 a.m. As the ball has made its way outside the Whitecaps bullpen, as we're seeing a warm-up from Bronson McKean over there. First pitch from new pitcher Charlie Waugh. And perfectly down the middle for strike 1. And so the Diamond try to go to a guy who can just find the strike zone consistently. Not that Montembeault didn't, but struggled a bit at times. 0-1. And Sam Cosdoyle will foul that one off on the bunt attempt to bring him to second strike. The 0-2 from the new reliever. Cosdoyle pulls this one just foul off the third base line. Good contact, though, just in front of it. Keep him at 2 strikes, and on this scenario, you got to be aggressive anyways, so of course not afraid to swing at that. And we'll go back to an 0-2 here from Charlie Waugh. And the breaking ball looks for the outside. We'll see ball 1 instead. Ground ball, backhanded from the shortstop. Sato turns, fires in time. And Ashimu Sato has been fantastic on both sides of the ball. He's great at the mound, and when he's not pitching, most of the time you'll find him at shortstop, and you can see why. He's got a gun. And he's able to beat Cosdoyle, and there's 2 down. Both runners would advance, though, and here's Nishan Dillon. Past the pitcher as his first pitch swinging, and that one gets under the glove of the second baseman. And 1 run will score as the Oakville Whitecaps make it 2-1 as Matthew Harushewitz comes around. And it's an RBI, and I'm going to call it potentially an error there from the infield. And we'll hit bottom of the order to Evan Huynh. He looks to lay down a bunt. We'll foul it off. But just the Diamond infield has been very good, and I believe that was Gabriel DiCari who's been so solid at second base, and just a play where it just squeaks underneath of his glove and there's nothing much he can do with it as it rolls on past him. The 0-1. Bunt shown from Huynh again as he really wants to lay one down. I'll go down 0-2. And Quick 0-2 hole. Charnier. Chance to strand 2 bases. It's ball 1. Well, the Diamond found themselves in this type of situation just an inning ago as they left the bases stranded. Trying to keep the lead. 1-2. It's ball 2 from Huynh. Huynh, Dream Career Graphic Arts. Quite impressive, and you know, I'm a university student, I go to TMU, I'll tell you. Evan, great program there at TMU for graphic arts. 2-2. Huynh pops this one up deep in the infield. Casey and Chev able to hound it down. Not much sun in the sky, so that makes his play a little bit easier. And the Diamond will strand 2 more base runners and keep their lead only 1 as the Whitecaps cut it in half. And when we return, it's the Diamond looking to extend their lead in the top of the 3rd inning. Top of the 3rd inning here back in Kingston, and it's the Diamond looking to extend their lead after they left 3 base runners stranded in the first, 2 in the second. They've done a great job with the defensive side despite a couple walks. And so Oakville will have a chance to keep this a 1-run game. It's Matthew Harusewicz back on the mound. And Brunet scrapes it on past the pitcher for a leadoff single. After Tyler Brunet's at-bat gets resumed after he started in the top of the 2nd inning, and Nathan Montembeau got picked off trying to steal second base, but he's able to win it just an inning later. And we'll hit bottom of the order Christophe Jobin, who typically is the leadoff guy for the Diamond, but now finds himself hitting at the bottom of the order. And Jobin with a heavy swing for a strike. And we'll split the first 2 pitches 1-1. So while having your leadoff guy at the bottom of the order, a guy you trust in to get contact, well, it just sets up the top of the order pretty successfully. Jobin goes down with a strike 2 as he commits to a bunt attempt there. And Harusewicz got a chance for a strikeout. The 1-2. And the breaking ball on the outside for a second ball. Two. Gilman holds the swing. Throw down to second. The tag. Got him! It's back-to-back pickoff attempts from Oakville as the last two base runners for the Diamond have tried to steal second, including Montembeau in the top of the second inning and Tyler Brunet here, but they've gunned down both of them. And Gilban will go down for strike 3. And there's 2 down. As we go back to the top of the order to Charles Kido-Houdon, who is the replacement in today's game for Gilban at the top. And what a gun it has been from behind the plate for Oakville. I almost feel intimidated if you're a runner at first, not even wanting to think about going to second after what has happened to the last two batters. Quick 2-0 lead for Kido-Houdon. He'll foul that one back as he gets underneath of it. As Logan Harvey is the one responsible for those last two pickoffs, as he typically does play behind the plate. We'll have a 2-1 pitch. That's ball 3 and a chance here for a walk to keep the top of the inning alive and a base runner for the Diamond. Here's the 3-1. It's ball 4 for Charles Kido-Houdon. And a runner on first again for the Diamond. And there's Ashimu Sato, who had a single and an RBI. Last time he was up, Charles Kido-Houdon was able to get around and score. And the first pitch on the outer half for ball 1. And Harvey will call time. And he wants a word with Harushewicz at the mound. And their coach will join them. As the infield will also come on in, and they'll have a little party. And so I believe the only team that won't play today is Trois Rivières, who played the 6 consecutive days. Well, I guess that would more or less be, well, 6 consecutive possible days, as we didn't play on Saturday due to the rain, but the Blackbirds a perfect 6-0, waiting to see who their opponent will be. Heavy swing there from Sato for a strike. And they've just played fantastic baseball, and I guess the benefit of not playing today for the Blackbirds will be that they'll have even fresher arms. Let's look at an extra day's rest. And well, even claiming the #1 seed, they get that extra benefit of having that extra day for their pitchers. So they'll be even stronger going into tomorrow. 2-1. Sato up the middle for a base hit. Going to be potential close play at second, though, but fast and speedy is Kido-Houdon. And there's 2 on now for the Diamond. It's back-to-back singles on the ball game for Ashimu Sato. And there's Adrian Shee. Fly ball to right field the last time he was here. And a potential chance to load the bases for Shee. That one is whipped way away. Harushewicz just held on to it a tad too long. And we'll go to the 1-0. And Shee, like that one, swings through for a strike after it was on the inner half of the plate. Kido-Houdon represents the tie. They double the lead run as they're only up by 1 right now, and Shee will foul that one back. for strike 2. As that one gets a piece of a vehicle behind home plate. As that's where we parked. As producer Rias Hennessy gives me a little worried look. I think we're good though, Rias. And she waits for that one. That's going to get him in the back as he was very delayed till it got to him. And Harushewicz wants a word right away as he's saying like he anticipated that, had time to move out of the way and kind of performed his way into it. So coach has a quick conversation, but no result will be changed. It's a hit by pitch walk to load up the bases for the Diamond. And cleanup hitter Simone Dinell with a chance to do some damage. With 2 outs, Oakville and out on any bag or home plate. Chopper fair play. And a scoop by Jack Carson will leave the bases stranded as he'll capture it and touch first base. And so we'll remain at a 2-1 difference as the Oakville Whitecaps take back to the dugout, grab the bats, and look to tie up this game. You're watching the 2026 Eastern Canadians Intermediate Championships here in Kingston. Bottom of the third and top of the order due up for the Oakville Whitecaps. Lake Constantino, Logan Harvey, Jackson Vale. As the Whitecaps, with a win here today, would confirm themselves with no tiebreaker situations needed, second place in the semifinals. First pitch to Constantino, strike 1. And strike 2 looking there from Constantino. And while Lake writes his dream career, and you know what, not much of a surprise, is a broadcaster. And if, while you're a fan of the NHL and like the Sportsnet broadcast, his father, Sam Constantino, is a frequent addition onto the panel. Big into the NHL draft. And so it's very cool to meet him, especially, well, as a commentator myself, meet an industry professional. And so, well, Lake Constantino, I'm going to say he's got probably has a lot of good connections into the industry and a good pathway. So wish him the best of luck trying to get to the top, and I'm sure he'll do so very successfully. As that was a fly ball in the center field as well for Constantino for out number 1. Here's Logan Harvey. who walked his first time here, Charlie Waugh, who left 2 runners stranded in the bottom of the second inning, looking to do somewhat of the same here, or even just retire the side in order. Just overall, keep his team in the lead is his goal. And that's a ball. That was a close call there. Especially with 2 strikes, Harvey letting that one go. Keeping his at-bat alive here, though. We'll go to a 1-2. The breaking ball up high, ball 2. He's worked his way back in the count. Waugh still up in it, though. And look for the fastball down low. And it's 3 straight balls for Logan Harvey and a full count. And we'll have the payoff pitcher from Charlie Waugh. Harvey, deep center field, as it looks to be going potentially in between the 2 outfielders, but they'll make up for the gap. And there's 2 down as the first 2 batters have flied out to center field. As that was Christophe Jobin who was able to make that play. And so we'll see Jackson Vale. Ground ball to third base. His first time up. First pitch to Vale. Doesn't move an inch, but takes strike 1. Well, the 0-1 pitch. Does it again. Takes strike 2. Very similar to Logan Harvey. On the first 2 pitches, just takes them both looking, and now he's got to battle back. Waugh chance to send his team back to the offense, the 0-2. And Vale holds off as he makes the decision just at the last second not to go on. And down in the dirt, and just like that, it's a mirror of Logan Harvey's Coward here at 2-2. We'll see if Vale can find that ball 3. Here's the 2-2 pitch here from Waugh. And Vale pulls that one to the third baseman. Casey Enchev handles it with the backhand. Toss to first. Got him in time as Simone Danell is able to calm that bouncing ball down. And send us to the top of the 4th inning, still with the same scoreline. It's 2-1 for the Diamond. And when we return, looking to add to their lead. Top of the fourth underway here. And it's Dalen Jacques, as we'll see the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Jacques Descartes and Casey Enchev for the Diamond. As Harushewitz back on the mound for his 4th inning appearance. Both of his first 2 runs he allowed coming back in the first. Has played clean baseball in the last 2 consecutive. He's got a 2-0 lead here for Jacques. He'll make that a 3-0. A chance here for a leadoff walk, which has been a common theme so far throughout the Diamond offensive opportunities. 3-0. It's ball 4, a 4-pitch walk for leadoff Dalen Jacques. And he'll get on down to first base to bring up Gabriel Descartes. And Descartes, well, as well as Dalen Jacques, there's a handful of players who were on the major team last year who went to BC. Bunt attempt laid down in front of the plate, and Descartes uses his speed, able to beat a throw attempt. And there's 2 on. Now, as I was mentioning, this Diamond team, and quite a bit of them went to BC last year for the major Canadians. And well, I had the honor of calling that tournament. And so I know quite a few of them. Not every kid, but there is a decent amount. Strike on the outside. And 1-1, so first 2 batters aboard here, and Casey Enchev has the chance to load the bases up for the Diamond. As a hold off there, and that's another ball. As Harushewitz has got himself in a bit of a pickle here early on in the 4th. That's ball 3. Got to be careful here. 3-1. Casey Enchev, ground ball. Flip from Lake Constantino to second. Looks to turn 2. They'll only get 1. So it's a fielder's choice for Casey Enchev. His runner will be able to advance to 3rd, but nobody will be at 2nd as they get out number 1. And there's Charlie Waugh. 2nd time up. And they're going to throw down to 3rd, the tag. And Dalen Jacques able to slide back in time. He took a couple very aggressive strides down the 3rd baseline before stopping up. And we've seen the attack that Logan Harvey can bring when trying to pick off runners. Not able to find it there. Gonna throw down to 1st as they're just tossing it around the base paths here. Wow, pulls this one to right field. As a run will score. Casey Enchev down to 3rd after he got a good jump from 1st. And it's 3-1 as the Diamond extend their lead. An RBI single for Charlie Waugh. And honestly, on that last play, which may have kind of screwed it up just a tad for the Whitecaps, is that runner Casey Enchev, who was on 1st, took off to steal 2nd right away. And so the first baseman no longer needed to cover the base. Kind of went into defensive position a little bit early, but that ball was hit perfectly. What would have been to at the first baseman if he stayed at that bag for just a second more, would have been able to make the play, but instead it got to the left of him and rode on down to right field. Munson Bowl lays down the bunt right to the plate. Runner's coming home, and the throw to 1st will be late, and the Diamond get their perfect situation. KCN Chev makes it 4-1. As Montembeau will get an RBI. It's just a beautiful bunt there from Montembeau. Right in the middle of the mound in the catcher. And he took off right away. He understands he's speedy, and that's why he has the ability to do it. And it was a good jump as well for runner at third, KCN Chev. So they couldn't test him at the plate. And our new pitcher coming in the game, it's Bronson McKean. Takes to the mound with his team down by 3. It looks to bring some velocity that we know he's capable of. And so he'll take his warm-up before we get back underway. And such a, as mentioned, a major game for both these teams, as they both already confirmed semifinals, as well as Trois-Rivières and the Kingston Colts. And the only one confirmed in the spot is Trois-Rivières at first. It's just today we'll find out where the other 3 teams fit into the puzzle before we get underway tomorrow with semifinals baseball. And so we'll get back underway in the first pitch here from McKean. Runner down the third. The test from Harvey out of the glove of Jackson Vale. And Harvey had a perfect execution of catch, transfer, and toss down. Even put it on a platter for Vale, but just off the top of the mesh of the glove and out. And so both runners will be able to advance now to third and second. And ball 3 for Tyler Brunet. And a chance to load up the bases, as McKean got to be sharp here early on. It's a 4-pitch walk, and the bases are loaded here for the Diamond, who've already capitalized on 2 runs in the 4th and have a grand opportunity to make it more. And it's Christophe Jobin as we hit the bottom of the order. And Jobin will hold off, take strike 1 on the outside. And McKean got to find a way to get out of this jam. No time to try to set into a rhythm. Needs to be into a rhythm early. Foul back from Jobin for strike 2. He's got a lead in this count. 0-2. Jobin pops this one up in the infield. 2 are searching for it, and Vale will make the grab, as I believe infield fly may have also played into effect there, but a second major out for the Whitecaps, who are trying to shovel their way out of this hole. Trying to refill back in the hole. And Charles Kiddo-Houdon back to the top of the order. Walked his last time he was here. And the 2-out pitcher rule will come into effect as Christophe Jobin, who just was out, will take to third base. Base is still loaded here for the Diamond. Kiddo-Houdon will await the first pitch from the new pitcher. His first time seeing McKean, so he'll get his eyes on the first pitch. And it's a strike one bullet to the outside. And again, he goes back to it with the fast velocity, but we'll split the first two pitches. And late on it for strike two. And a chance for McKean to work his way out of the sticky situation. The 1-2. And Cadell O'Donnell will foul it back and stay where he is. And he'll do it again as he gets another piece of it. And we'll see how aggressive McKean is with the strike zone after struggling for control through his first at-bat with a 4-pitch walk. Hasn't shown sights of that since. Kiddo O'Donnell in play, dies down early. Vale, cross diamond, quickly in time. And the Whitecaps get out of the bases loaded jam. As the Diamond capitalize on 2 runs early, make it 4 for themselves with a 3-run lead. When we come back, it's Oakville looking to respond in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bottom 4 as we join you back here in Kingston on a cloudy but, hey, no rain type of day after we got a 1 game of baseball in the morning yesterday at 9 a.m. starting early because of it as this one's flown out to center field and Jobin will close the gap. And to find out, number 1. As I was saying, we were supposed to have scheduled 4 games tomorrow. Had to cancel 3, and well, if you can't tell, I believe those 3 are now today. And it's Bronson McKean as the 2 relievers will go out of here after we saw McKean join the ball game at the top of the inning. He'll go first pitch swinging 2. Ground ball to Sato, and he'll make the play, but Donnell won't be able to hold on to it. And so McKean will get aboard first base after a bit of an error there from the Diamond first baseman. And a runner on here for Josh Huynh. That's ball 1. Down below the zone. As we'll have 2 more games today, as I just mentioned, but to give you details, Ottawa West and Orleans at the 2 o'clock game, and 5 will be the host team, Kingston, in the Kingston Colts. Josh Huynh down the left field line all the way to the warning track. As McKean will get all the way to third, get held up, And it's a double for Josh Wynn, as he got all of that ball and pulled it with all the torque in his body. And the Diamond head coach calling time. It's going to meet Charlie Waugh in the pitcher's mound. And that will do it for Charlie Waugh. As it goes 29 pitches, so he'd be available for Friday's game, depending on if it's the championship or the third place game for the Diamond. And it's Charles Kiddo-Houdon continues his big day after getting moved up to the top of the order. Now has, well, trying to keep his team in the lead as he inherits 2 base runners, and tying run also due up to the plate. And so Kiddo-Houdon will finish his warm-up before Caleb Sutherland takes to the plate. As I mentioned, he represents tying run. That one gets away. Here comes McKean on home, and he slides in there. And Kiddo-Houdon will be able to apply the tag in time, and the Whitecaps make it 2. As a heads-up stealing attempt from McKean, and we've seen so many runs being scored off of that exact play. And as soon as that ball scurried on away from Dana and Jacques behind the plate, it was green light for McKean. As we'll get Sutherland's count back underway, he's up 2-0. And they'll stare that one down for a strike, as Kiddo-Houdon will get his first strike of the morning, or shall I say afternoon, as we're now into the 12:30 marker. 2-1, holds out, ball 3. And strike 2 to keep him there. And a full count. And we'll have the payoff pitch from Charles Kiddo-Houdon. Sutherland pops this one up in foul territory, and Simone Donnell will get it. Play to the plate now is coming home as Josh Wynn, and he catches the Diamond off guard. A smart heads-up play from the speedster, and the Whitecaps bring the deficit to only 1. And so the O was confirmed from Simone Donnell. It even caught me off guard. I wasn't even thinking about Win over at third, and there he comes on home. And Matthew Harushewitz to the plate now. And out in center field, I know it's a little hard to see on the broadcast, but you can see some black cats. This is the Trois-Rivières Blackbirds, who have come to watch a potential opponent in the semifinals or the finals. Fly ball to center field, and Ashimu Sato, who comes in from shortstop, makes the forehand basket catch to get out number 3. And Sato has been good in all areas, showing his versatility on that one to make a catch from any angle. And when we come back, we're through 4. It's the top of the 5th with only a 1-run ball game. Top 5 is the Diamonds. Their lead now down to 1 after both teams scored 2 runs in the 4th inning, and it just Shimu Sato was. We'll see 2, 3, and 4 hitters in the order due up here. And Sato 2 for 2 with back-to-back singles, but it's his first time facing McKean in this ball game. As McKean joined the ball game in the top of the inning, bases loaded, able to get out of it though. And Sato will foul that one back right to the broadcast camera as he sends you folks at home for a bit of a windy roller coaster. Chance for McKean to find a leadoff punch out. Sato will see the 1-2. It's up high. When Sato knows it's going to be a ball, it doesn't matter how fast the velocity is, how close it is inside of him, just stand still. No fear on the kid, the 2-2. And it's ball 3. And a full count of the leadoff. And we'll see a payoff pitch here from McKean. Sato will foul that one back to stay on a full count. As that one ends up getting the umpire right in the mask too. And so we'll take a moment. So he'll take his time. That's a tough play, especially, you don't totally expect it, and all of a sudden it hits off the bat of the batter and comes right back and hits it right at the mask. And so we'll go back to a payoff as the home plate umpire, Phil, looks to be okay. Back to another payoff from McKean. It's ball 4. Sato will win it. And it's a leadoff walk for the Diamond. And so that will do it for Bronson McKean potentially, as coach will come out and talk to him, and after some clarification with us here at the officials table, McKean will be available for tomorrow, and it seems like that will be the trajectory potentially of the rest of the game for the Whitecaps, as it looks like they're going to go back to their starter here. Matthew Harushewitz will take back to the mound after he came out, after he started to struggle, but a bit of a refresh as he comes in from left field. And we've seen that happen a couple times in this tournament, as at the intermediate level, if you start the game and then you go play a different position on the field after you get pulled, you have the ability to come back into the ball game. And Harushewitz is this exact situation. And we'll get back underway. Adrian Shee up next here for the Diamond. And he has faced Harushewitz earlier in the game. I don't even know if he actually would have faced Bronson McKean, so it's like there was no pitching change at all. Shee 0 for 1. Fly ball to right field. His first time, walked his last time. Gets all of that ball, but it will be pulled foul. And majorly too. As he must have swung just very early. And he's got 2 strikes against him. That's Harushewitz, the 0-2. Ground ball, hard one for Constantino, and he won't be able to calm it down. It's a single for Adrian Shee. And there's 2 on now for the Diamond, who are looking to extend their lead now as it's tighter than ever. And there's Simone Danel. His first pitch will be ball 1. Danel was played first base for a majority of the game. Yeah, ground ball 2. Second last time he was here. "19 degrees in Kingston, but I'll tell you, with that wind, it's been a little bit cooler than that. We're even here in the broadcast booth. We have open windows at the front and open door at the side, but enclosed everywhere else. And still, I'm a little chilly out here in a short sleeve and shorts. Danel, high bouncer over top as it hits a trampoline. And runner coming home, and he slides in there. Run down to third. The tag has got him at third, though. And so they get the out as Logan Harvey guns down Adrian Shee going to third. But, oh my, check the infield grass, because that got something heavy as it bounced over top of Caleb Sutherland and allowed runner to come home, and the Diamond have made it back to a 2-run lead. It's 5-3. So we'll only have a runner at first base. We'll call it a single for Simone Danel, and here it's Dalen Jacques, the 5-hitter. That's a strike. And the Diamond third base coach wants a word with home plate umpire. Just clarification and we'll get back underway. Oh, 1 over top of the head of Jacques. And we'll go to the 1-1. That's up by the ice sign for ball 2. Darker clouds beyond the courthouse of cricket. That's probably what's cooling us down here. Hopefully not rain clouds though. Only thing we had. Jacques pulls this one past the third baseman to left field. And it's another base hit, back-to-back singles, and there's 2 on now for the Diamond. And a mound meeting to go to talk to Matthew Harushewitz. And that will do it. They're going to go to a third option here. After Matthew came back into the game after starting it early. And it looks to be Thomas Loeffler who will take to the bump for the boys in teal. After they're down by 2 and trying to keep it that way, but with 2 on, the Diamond continuing to threaten. And so Loeffler will begin his warm-up before we get back underway. And so the Orleans Red Sox just beyond left field there. Here at the ballpark, their game scheduled for 2 o'clock with this one at the top of the 5th. And probably still 3 innings of baseball to play. It's already 12:40, so have a feeling that one might be delayed just a tad, but fingers crossed not, as the Kingston Colts, the host team, are already here as well. And we're back underway. Gabriel DeCauri sees his first pitch for ball 1. And we'll see if Loeffler can work his way out of this situation. And here it's 1 out and 2 runners on. And we'll see strike number 1. Runner down to third. Bunt laid down from DeCauri successfully. Loeffler first to it, and to first is good. So they'll get 1 to make it out number 2. Both runners would advance, though. And it's Maximilian Casey-Chev trying to keep the top of the inning alive and increase the Diamond lead. Their biggest lead of the ball game was 3 runs and a chance to tie that number here or even break it. If runner at second would come around and score. Loeffler and Harvey connecting on a conversation at the mound. As the sun is put away here this afternoon in Kingston. And we'll get this out man underway here. And strike on the outer half. As Casey and Chev reached the last time on a fielder's choice. I believe something has been called against the, and it's going to be a ball awarded into the count for the batter there. Not sure too much of the situation. There's the 1-1 pitch, though. Breaking ball perfectly executed there from Loeffler. As he gets it down, and he's got Casey Enchev back against the wall. Pitcher's count for Loeffler. In the 1-2. Casey Enchev in the air, then dives down deep in the infield for Caleb Sutherland. And that will do it for the top of the 5th inning. The Whitecaps leave 2 runners stranded thanks to Thomas Loeffler, who joins the ball game at the mound and shuts things down. When we come back, the Whitecaps still searching for their first lead of the ball game. We'll see if it comes soon when we return. Leading things out for the Whitecaps in the bottom of the 5th here is Jack Carson. As he fouls that pitch off. Kiddo Houdon back in the mound for another inning. And, well, starting to sprinkle here in Kingston. Don't know if it will turn into anything heavy, but that's the last thing we want to see here today. As today is the rain day, there's no day to fall back on the rain day. So hopefully it holds off, and this is manageable. This is fine right here. Nothing above this. Jack Carson goes down looking as Charles Kiddo Houdon will start things off with dealing a strikeout. And there's Sam Costoyle due up next. Costoyle writes his special talent is wiffle ball. Skies this one down into no man's land for a base hit. And, well, maybe all that wiffle ball experience pays off there. You know, with wiffle ball, you get all those crazy movements, and you got to react fast. And, well, he's able to win an at-bat there. He's at first base. Here's Nashawn Dillon for the Whitecaps, trying to advance the runner now to scoring position. Dillon, first pitch swing and fouls one back. Right to the road. We did hear a vehicle get hit earlier due to a foul ball. We have found out it was a city vehicle. A city truck to be exact, I believe, so. One to Dillon. And a beautiful pitch there from Kittel Houdon. Just makes Dillon step into that one and really reach across the plate. Result is strike 2. And Kittel Houdon looking for his second punch out here in the inning. And he's got ball number 1. As that looked close. But a great take it will result to be for Dillon. 1-2. That's going to get a piece of him in the shoulder. As he's going to hit the dirt. That one got him right in the back of the shoulder blade. As Dylan will get some helping too by his two coaches. Make that 3. And Dylan looks to be okay as he'll make his trot down to first base. And it's 2 on now for Oakville. We'll bring up Evan Huynh. And one of the cool talent here from Huynh is that he plays the trumpet. You know, I used to play the trumpet back in high school, but I'll tell you, I wasn't very good. I wouldn't write that down as my special talent, but so he must be pretty good at the trumpet if he's gonna write that down. If that's his ace in his back pocket to write down if it's his special talent. So good for him, a bit of a musician, obviously. And runner down the third as well after that last pickoff attempt, went all the way to center field. And the Diamond head coach wants a word with second base umpire, as we've seen these conversations happen a lot between both coaches and umpires, discussing the rules and decisions. Here's one here, and you know, we had early in the tournament we had a bit of an overheating problem with some of our cameras. Not today. I'll tell you, that makes producer Ryan Hennessy pretty happy. Where don't have to worry about, maybe have to worry about the freezing problem today if the cameras get too cold, because it is chilly here in Kingston. I might have to go home in between games, grab a jacket. And the first pitch here to Evan Huynh shows bunt, and that one gets to the backstop. Here comes runner on home, and the Whitecaps bring it back within a run as Sam Costoyle comes around. And it's 5-4. As Evan Huynh loves the bunt attempt. He does it almost no doubt every single time. 1-0 pitch. That's ball 2, and you know what? He's so fast that it works out for him most of the time. So tying run now at second base. Game hasn't been tied since, well, the Whitecaps started the ball game. It's a 3-0 lead here for Huynh, and Kittel Houdon got a battle. Ball forward, it's a 4-pitch walk. And it's 2-1 for top of the order, Lake Constantino. And we'll see it after our mound meeting here. And that will do it for Charles Kittel Houdon. As they're going to Maximilian Kisieshev. 20 pitches to continue the narrative of players being available for tomorrow. And I'll add to the list Charles Kittel Houdon as he stays under his 1-day pitch count restriction. And so Kisieshev will begin his warm-up. I expect to see a couple more pitchers per team, at least one more pitcher per team as especially during the late stages, you just throw a couple guys for 20. But in a close game like this, maybe you swing the other way, and if one guy's pitching so phenomenally, you keep him there. And so, Lake Constantino will be the first batter to face the new pitcher. And they'll test Dylan down at second. He'll get back. That's over top of Constantino's head, having to duck rapidly. We'll go to the 1-0. And a hold off after he flinched for a moment for ball 2. Casey Enshev played the entirety of the game at third base so far and has made some very concise throws across diamond. Now needs even more big pressure throws. That one's on the inside, ball 3. And this count in full favor of Constantino and a potential here to load up the bases. And the automatic strike because they'll get one back. And he takes it again for strike 2 as Casey Enshev delivers 2 down the pipe. It has brought it to a full count. And Constantino will await the payoff pitch. After he calls time, we'll step away first. Repairs the mental. And now we'll see the payoff. As correction, Casey Enshev will actually step off where it just becomes more and more anticipated. Here it is. And Maximilian Casey Enshev finishes the battle. 3 straight seeing strikes for Lake Constantino. As I don't think he swung at a single pitch he saw in that at-bat. 6 straight, and there's 2 down. And there's Logan Harvey, 0 for 1 with a pop fly ball to center field. First pitch down the middle, and Casey Enshev is feeling himself right now. He's having great positioning, but they've all been down the middle. The other thing is Oakville hasn't swung at them. The 0-1. Paints the outside, strike 2. And it's an 0-2 lead here. Harvey, gotta protect. The 0-2 pitch. High up in the infield. Casey Enshev will call off his teammates and confirm the out himself. And 2 will be left stranded as the Whitecaps get 1. But the Diamonds still in the lead as they've been all game long. And when we come back, top of the 6th, as the Diamond look to extend their lead here in Kingston. top of the sixth back in Kingston, and it's Charlie Waugh leading things off against Thomas Loeffler, who joined the ball game at the top of the fifth and was able to get out of it after, I can't believe he came in with 2 outs, if my memory serves me correct. 0-1. We'll split the first 2 pitches. Charlie Waugh also pitched himself a couple innings of this game. And, well, this might be the closest game we've had all tournament. We've had a lot of close games, but consistently always a 1 or 2 run game throughout the innings. We've had a lot of blowouts, a lot of mercy rules. This one gearing up to be quite the opposite. Well, we kind of anticipated it with these 2 teams' records and the high stakes on the game. We'll have the 1-2 pitch from Loeffler. Breaking ball, a thing of beauty. And that's a finishing pitch from Thomas Loeffler, and there's 1 down. There's Nathan Montembeau. First time up in a single and an RBI. He was also the starting pitcher for the Diamond. As well, heavy swing on the first one for a strike. And Loeffler has looked calm, cool, and collected at the mound. It's kind of the presence that Oakville has needed, as they struggled at times, giving up walks. It was kind of off and on. Sometimes the pitcher would be really hot, and then sometimes it would have a cold spell, but at least Loeffler starting off very hot right now, and he's got an 0-2 lead over Montembeau. Ground ball to the second baseman. Sutherland will handle. Quick toss to first is good, and there's 2 down. And a chance to retire the side in order. Here's Tyler Brunet, as he looks to keep the inning alive. Had a single earlier in the game. I believe if he rolled one down the right field line. And it's first pitch up high for ball 1. As that's one of the first few balls that Loeffler has thrown this inning. Inside, ball 2, and a lead here now for Brunet. Pre-game superstition for Thomas Loeffler. One word simply, eat. And you wonder what he ate before today's game. He's got to have, he didn't describe or give any specifics what he likes to eat, but you know, that's a superstition though. You know, it's a pretty easy superstition to follow too. Eat before every game. And he gets a strike back there. That's ball 3 for Brunet, as it was upstairs. And we'll go to 3-1. And it's ball 4 as it goes back to the breaking ball, but that one just a bit too high. And Brunet will be aboard first base with Christophe Jobin due up. And 19 pitches, and, well, the head coach of the Whitecaps looks at Loeffler and says 1 more batter as he tries to keep him underneath that 20 pitch count. And, well, this will be his final pitch where he's available for tomorrow, so he can finish this batter. Those are the specifics. Jobin pipes this one to center field, but Josh Wynn underneath of it for out number 3. And so despite 1 more batter for Thomas Loeffler, he makes quick work of the inning. And 2 phenomenal innings at the mound will done his game on the rubber. When we come back, it's the bottom of the 6th. The Whitecaps still searching to tie the game. Do they have their answer when we return? bottom of the 6th with Jackson Vale leading things off. KCN Chev back on the bump for the Diamond after he was able to get out of the inning, I believe leaving a couple left stranded of Whitecaps runners. And there's ball 2. And the lead there for Jackson Vale. That's over top of him for ball 3. And, well, KCN Chev has got to cool down a little bit, as he hasn't had much luck on location-wise. As the Whitecaps look to get tying run aboard. And the automatic strike as they'll find one back. But the Whitecaps have been just chasing the game all afternoon. As Vale will foul that one back, and, well, we'll go to a full count. Here's the payoff. That's strike 3. And what a comeback it was from KCN Chev after going down 3-0. Gets 3 straight strikes. And there's one down. So we are going to skip Thomas Loeffler in the order, as he will leave the game with some arm soreness after he took to the mound. And so we're going to skip on to Bronson McKean. McKean will see strike 1. And we know McKean's got some power in him. And, well, he represents the tying run. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Likes that one. And that one will get on by the infield for a base hit for Bronson McKean, and tying run now aboard first base. As it was a diving effort from Sato, but won't be able to calm it down. And here's Josh Wynn. And you know the Wynn brothers like to bunt. See if this is one of those situations. He can also hit, though. He can do a bit of both, but I would say bunt is his bread and butter, as they'll toss down to first. And, well, McKean doesn't even need to dive. He just goes down to his knees to get back to first. Outside bottom corner for strike 1. That one gets away from Jacques, and McKean will get an easy free base as he jogs on down to second. And tying run now in its scoring position. As we haven't seen a whole lot of pass balls recently, but there was one there. Quinn in the infield, dives down, so an easy play for Simone Denel, as it didn't have a whole lot of power on it, as it got an awkward part of the bat, so 2 away in the inning, as McKean won't be able to advance either. And a pitching change will come on through as KCN Chev will be done, keeping under that 20 marker, so he'll be available for tomorrow. And here's Adrian Shee, as he'll take to the mound, and he'll take his warm-up, but the pattern continues of pitch a guy, under 20 pitchers, go a different direction, pitch a guy, do it again. And I have a feeling that Kingston might follow that path as well in the next game. And Shee, who is a good pitcher, comes to the mound every once in a while for the Diamond. Gets an opportunity here in a very tight game with, as I mentioned, implications on the line. The Whitecaps' victory would earn them the 2nd spot in the semifinals, and they would obviously play the 3rd seed, which may end up being the Diamond But if that situation were to come true, Whitecaps come back, win this game, they confirm the second spot. It would come down to the Colts game later today. And if the Colts would win, then they would play the Whitecaps. But if the score stands and the Diamond win here today and the Colts win later, then there's 3 teams at 4-2. And then it comes a whole bunch of tiebreakers as there's a trifecta of head-to-head winners. As it just becomes a whole scrum, basically. But we're going to try to figure it out as the Colts have beat the Diamond. If the Diamond were to beat the Whitecaps, and the Whitecaps have beat the Colts, so then it comes down to run differential. That's down low for Shee. And a quick 2-0 lead for Caleb Sutherland. And there's a strike, gets one back as he paints the outside. Down to the dirt, Jock will block it. I'll go to a third straight ball. She trying to get adjusted into this game early. Tying run. Represented there down at second by McKean. 3-1 pitch from Shee. And Sutherland will foul it off, and we'll do it again. Or we'll go to a full count, pardon me. Chance to leave runners stranded, and the Diamonds send us to a potential final inning of baseball in the top of the 7th. Full count payoff. Sutherland, chopper fair. Slowly gets to third baseman. It's airmailed over top of Simone Denell. And Casey Enchev, who just joined third base after moving from the bump, won't be able to make that play after it died down quickly in the infield and it became rushed from 5-3. And the inning stays alive for the Whitecaps. And tying run, now a base hit away. Here's Matthew Harushewitz to the plate in his biggest situation of the tournament potentially. Trying to scrape out a win after it's been back and forth between these two. And that will get a piece. And he's fired up as he tosses the bat right to his dugout. Actually ends up hitting his coach as he tossed it right to the dugout, and the coach opened the door simultaneously. And there, well, that's when the party began. And he's fired up, though. Base is loaded for Jack Carson. Adrian Shee trying to work himself out of the jam. First pitch for ball 1. And the Whitecaps, who have been down since the top of the first inning, trying to finally tie things up. 1-0. And Carson goes through for strike 1. And you can feel the tension in both of these crowds, as you got the Diamond fans to our right in the broadcast booth and the Whitecaps to our left. Here's the 1-1. And strike 2 from Carson, as he's liked the last 2 offerings but hasn't been able to connect. Adrian Shee, a chance to leave the bases stranded. The 1-2. Carson in play, past the feet of Shee, and gets past Deke Cowrie at second. 1 run will score, and the Whitecaps have tied it. It's 5-5 with go-ahead run now at third. And an RBI single for Jack Carson. And here's Sam Cuss-Doyle. Had a base hit earlier in the game. And if he found one here, would give his team the lead for the first time this game. And it's strike 1. And Shee really trying to limit the damage here. And Doyle hesitant on that last pitch, goes through for strike 2. And Sheed is counted in his favor. We'll have the 0-2. In play from Doyle. Saddle, first one to it. Play to first is good. And the Whitecaps will get one to tie the game, but won't be able to find any more. And we'll go to a potential final inning of baseball here, the top of the 7th, as these two teams figure out where they'll place in the semifinals. And when we come back, potential last time on the offense for the Diamond. Seventh and potential final inning here in game 1 of the day on the final day of round robin. And it's top of the order. Charles Kiddo-Houdon will have the task of facing the new pitcher into the game for Oakville, number 2, Caleb Sutherland. And ball 2, quick lead for Kiddo-Houdon. We'll see Sato and Shi, as we'll see 1, 2, 3 in the order for the Diamond. And well, for the first time since the first inning of the game, they do not have the lead anymore. And it's 3-0 going Kiddo-Houdon's way. Sutherland in a 3-0 hole. And it's a strike 1 to get one back. Inside, ball 4. And go-ahead run now aboard first base. As it's the second walk of the ball game for Kiddo-Houdon as well. And there's a Shimu Sato. 2 singles and a walk on his afternoon. Been quite successful on both sides of the ball. And Sutherland through 5 pitches, 4 balls and a strike. He'll test runner at first. But an easy step back in time for Kiddo-Houdon. And Saddle likes that one, but will swing through for a strike. And the 0-1 will turn into 0-2 as Sutherland finds his location. Really trying to steady up here after walking his last batter, and he's up 0-2. Sato up the middle, and it just skips out of the glove of the shortstop. Flipped to second, and Kiddo-Houdon was safe. As Jackson Vale was able to get a mitt in front of it, but just slow down the momentum, and Sano will get himself a base hit. And tying run now, go-ahead run now in scoring position. As it's the third single of the ball game for Sato. And here's Adrian Shee. That's ball one on the outside. But the Diamond pushing aggressively to gain back their lead. And you know what? They have had a lot of base runners throughout many consecutive innings. Oakville has left a lot of them stranded, or else the Diamond could have even more runs than they do. This might even be the lowest scoring game we've had in the tournament combined with both teams. Only 10 runs in this one. We've had a lot of high scorers. Shee to the backstop, and quickly Logan Harvey able to react for out number one. And here's Simone Denell, the cleanup hitter. As Oakville gets an all-important first out. And strike one up high. So a couple of shifts in the infield as well after, well, Lake Constantino goes to second and Jackson Vale goes to shortstop, as well, Sutherland, who typically does play second base, obviously now at the mound. And it's 0-2 lead on Denell. And Sutherland looking to make it back-to-back outs and get his first punch out of the afternoon. And a balk has been called as both runners will advance, and it's two now in scoring position and go-ahead run, now a base hit away. And Sutherland knew it right away. Frustrated with himself. But he's got the batter in an 0-2 hole. And it's ball one up high. The 1-2. Got him. Strike three swinging on Simone Denell for out number two. And Sutherland, after walking his first batter on only 5 pitches, looking much smoother here. And here's Dalen Jacques. And with a run here, would put pressure on the Whitecaps to match them in the bottom of the inning. And Jacques will get hit by that pitch. And the bases are loaded. As that one got him right on the shoulder blade, it looked to be. And well, it's goosebumps here. Whether it's the tension in the game or the cold wind that's coming around, goosebumps have arrived. Gabriel DeCalary, strike one. A hold out for ball one. And while Sutherland, yes, he's in a tough situation, but he does have 2 outs. And while with a play at the plate or any bag, gotta find a ground ball or obviously the strikeout. And that's strike two looking on DeCalary, and time has been called. And they just want Logan Harvey and Caleb Sutherland in this conversation. As you wonder, it's a 1-2 count, and before the pitch was about to be thrown, he calls him over. And so relays the message. And DeCalary with the bases loaded makes his walk back to the batter's box. In a big time situation, the 1-2 with the bases loaded. And a balk has been called against Caleb Sutherland. And that will give the go-ahead run to the Diamond. As third base umpire makes the call. And the Diamond are back on top. And Diacalari fouls it back to stay in a pair of strikes. But Sutherland, that is his second balk of this inning. And well, might be the result of potential the winning run for the Diamond. That's a ball up high. And Diacalari will stay alive as he fouls it back. And will stay at a 2-2. Chance to add to the lead as well for the Diamond with 2 on. Got him! Strike 3 swinging for Gabriel Diacalari. And Caleb Sutherland's fired up with the result as he leaves 2 stranded. But the Diamond take back their lead, and it's 6-5, putting the Whitecaps with their backs against the wall. And when we come back, Oakville needs a run to send us to extras, 2 to walk it off. And if they end up with nothing, it'd be victory for the Diamond. Big time situations when we return. Bottom 7 in Kingston is while the Diamond found the go-ahead run at the top of the inning and are 3 outs away from closing it out and confirming their spot in either the, I believe these, well, it would be a 3-way tiebreaker, which would make things so interesting. Adrian Shea back at the bump. And strike 1 off leadoff hitter Nishan Dillon. And strike 2 as he curves it to the outside. There's the 0-2 to Dillon. And ball 1. And so if this result sticks, as mentioned, Diamond 4-2, the Whitecaps would be 4-2. Well, Kingston would still have 1 game. And they play the Cornwall River Rats, and the River Rats haven't won a game yet. It's not saying, obviously, anything can happen in a ball game. Absolutely. But if Kingston was able to beat Cornwall later today, 4 teams at 4-2, and it'd come down to run differential. 1-2. In play from Dillon. A chopper to second base, and collected and in time from Gabriel Diacalari. And there's a 1 down. And there's Evan Huynh for Oakville. As we hit the bottom of the order, we'll see what the speedster can do here. Let's look at the first pitch on the inside corner for strike 1. And strike 2 looking. It's back-to-back batters who go down to an 0-2 hole. And she looking for back-to-back outs in his first punch out of the inning. They'll be inside. So force Huynh to back away. Here's a 1-2. That's down to the dirt for ball 2. As the sun breaks through the clouds, lights up the field, the 2-2. Huynh to the pitcher, and she makes quick work of that one, and there's 2 gone. And so, that will do it for Adrian Shee. Goes 24 pitches. And we'll revert back to 20, I believe, still available for tomorrow's game. We continue the pattern. And they go back to Charlie Waugh, who we saw earlier in the game. And with 2 outs, we'll look to come in and close this one out. 1 out away from the Diamond, claiming victory and making things interesting with the run differential. As top of the order, Lake Constantino due up. And all sorts of teams already here. Orleans obviously playing the next game. They're all lined up just outside the Diamond bullpen. The Ottawa West Twins are standing right beside the Oakville dugout, as they don't play till 5 o'clock, but they're here capturing the action all day, it looks to be. And Constantino represents the tying run. And there's nothing behind him now with 2 outs. He's got to get aboard and get around if Oakville wants to confirm their spot as the 2nd seed. That's a ball up high. As they, I believe, beat the Diamond in run differential. So if the Diamond do pull this out, it would be against the Colts. As Constantino will foul that one off. And we'll collect some numbers and give you even more background. I'm guessing probably in the Colts game, which will be live here on the channel in probably about the next 45 minutes. Strike 2 on Constantino, and now he's gone to battle. Been such a close game, one of the closest of the tournament. And Charlie Waugh 1 strike away from victory. The 1-2. Got him. Strike 3. And the Diamond win a nail-biter. 6-5 the final score, as it's a 7-inning thriller. And the Oakville Whitecaps will drop down to 4-2 win. Well, they'd be okay with this result. One that doesn't hurt their run differential too much. So the fact that they lost this game doesn't hurt their chances too bad of being in that 2 versus 3 seed game in the semifinals. But what a game it was. We anticipated this one for a while. after we saw these two teams kind of shape up through their first few games in the round robin and said, okay, these two teams are good. Two teams that could even have a matchup in that semifinals, and we will have to find out after today. We will know if we'll see a rematch tomorrow in the semifinals. But that will do it for Game 1. Remember, subscribe and hit that notification bell on the Kingston Baseball Association YouTube channel, as we just hit 700 subscribers. So we, first of all, thank you for all the subscribers. We have, I believe we gained about 150 over the last week. So we appreciate all the support. And remember, we'll have 2 more games today. It's the host team, the Kingston Colts, riding high off of their comeback victory walk-off in yesterday's morning, facing off against the Orleans Red Sox, searching for their second win. For producer Ryan Hennessy, I've been Jacob Ewing. The Diamond win their final game of the round robin 6-5 over the Oakville Whitecaps. We'll see you very soon.